1. Perfect. We're live. We already got a couple people in here, so welcome everybody. I think they were waiting in the waiting room. Uh, we're going to give a little bit of time for people to join, but typically we like to keep these going along. As a matter of fact, this is the first micro lesson of 2025, so really
Right.
exciting event. So it's an honor to have you here, Nathan. As always, my name is Rick Barcelos. I am the community manager here at Growth and the host of the micro lessons. And today joining me, we have Nathan Gifford, who's our director of website services and an absolute HubSpot CMS web development mastermind and gold caretaker.
Yeah, nice to be here with you guys.
And so we have a couple more people joining in. Please, if you guys can, to the right, you have the chat and you can access the live stream chat. Please drop your name and where you're speaking from over there. We like to keep these conversational. Towards the end, we're going to make some time for questions. But if you want to drop them in on the chat, I'll go ahead and get to them whenever Nathan is done with the lesson. So without more to do, let's get started, Nathan. They're not here to hear me talk. They're here to hear you talk. So please go ahead and take it from here.
All right. Good to have everybody here today and to be here to dive into this topic of HubSpot child themes. So there's a lot we could cover here, and we have a limited amount of time. So I'm going to dig through as much as we can, and like Rick said, we'll get some questions at the end. So make some notes or drop them in the chat along the way, so we can make sure to answer your questions. So we'll start off with just the overall structure when you're building a website in HubSpot's CMS or Content Hub. You have what everyone on here is probably familiar with at this point, themes. So you have a theme. You can custom build a theme, or you can get one from the HubSpot Marketplace. And when you have a theme, that is the foundation for your website. It's a collection of modules and templates and CSS files and a base level of styling options that you set within your theme that then applies across the board to all the pages of your website. So you have the consistency, you have the ability to set your brand colors and your fonts and your button styles and all those kind of things you set at the theme level, and you're not having to set those kind of things page by page. So that's the theme. And so you go through Marketplace or wherever, and you choose your theme to build your site on. But then from there, while you can customize things in your theme, you will oftentimes come to a point where you need to customize something beyond what the theme is set up for. So you want to customize something at a code level. When you get to that point, uh, that's where you need a child theme. And so a child theme, some of you I'm sure are familiar with child themes. Some of you are using them. Some of you have seen them and walked away because you weren't sure what to do with it. So we're going to look at what a child theme could be used for, or why, and how to use it. So I'll give you some examples. So let's look here, because a child theme, there's a couple different scenarios where you would need to use it. One could be you just want different parts of your website to take on a different feel, because you have a global header on your website, and maybe you want certain parts of your website to show a different logo, or maybe to have different menu options, or to have some different colors or whatnot. You can use a child theme to do that. Or when you have something from the marketplace that you can't customize at a code level at all, you create your child theme to give you that option. So those are your kind of main scenarios. So let's take a look at how that works. And let me start off. Here is let me share my screen. Alrighty, you should be able to see my screen here now. This is just a demo site using a theme that we have in the marketplace called Redwood Industrial. Just real quick, this is that theme listing. It's a newer theme, but it's a really good one. So check it out if you want, and it is free. But we'll be using that theme as a demo point today. So looking at this page, you see, like with any other theme, you have global elements. So I have this global header at the top that's the same on every page. Every page has the same navigation, the logo, the same footer, and the overall styling, the colors, the fonts. Everything is set at the theme level. But if I want to make changes at a point, I can't. While there's tons of customization options in this theme and most other themes, but let's take a look here. If I go into the design manager of this portal, and this is just a sandbox portal, I have this theme that's downloaded from the marketplace. So when you download a theme from the marketplace, you'll see this structure inside of your design manager. You see marketplace, and then you have a folder for the developer of the theme. And so, like if you've downloaded multiple themes from different developers from marketplace, you'll have multiple folders here. So you have that folder. Then inside you have the actual theme itself. In this case, Redwood Industrial. And when I click on that, I have this whole collection of CSS files, modules, templates, all the normal stuff you see in a theme. So say I'm using this theme and I jump in, I'm trying to modify things and say, okay, I like this accordion module, but I want to make some changes. I want to modify the layout. I can see the module here. I can see the files. I can see the fields, but I can't edit anything. So you can see right here, it even tells me at the very top, this file is within the marketplace theme, cannot be edited in the design manager. And it tells you, you can create a child theme. So I'm saying I can't make any changes here. And if you look at that and say, well, that's not cool. Why can't I make changes? The reason is actually a good one. When somebody puts a theme in the marketplace, if they're a good developer of their theme, they're not going to submit it and walk away and never come back. They will make regular updates to the theme. Sometimes it's a bug fix. It could be a new feature, a new module. Maybe there's a change in HubSpot, so some changes have to be made to the theme accordingly. So whatever the reason is, you will get an update from HubSpot, an email, let's say an update is available for Redwood Industrial. Then there's a button to click. You go and you update it. It's super easy. It'll update all the files in your design manager for that theme. So what if I had been able to customize this module? And then there's an update. Update comes through, wipes out all of my changes with new versions of the files. That would be very frustrating. So you're not allowed to do that. And that's, I'd say, the main reason why, because you're going to have updates to the theme. But child theme gives you the ability to still customize. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to create a child theme. And before I do that here, you can do it with this button. I can also, if I go back here to the theme folder, I can also right click on it, create child theme. Either way does the same thing, but just showing a couple different routes to get there. So when I click on that, I will get a screen that looks like this. That will give me the original theme name, and it'll say child. Or if it's not one from the marketplace, it may say copy here. Either way, that's just a default name. You can change this to whatever you want. So let's say demo child. And this will put it in the root folder with all your other themes and folders. You can change that if you want. And again, this name, this is just for internal uses. You will see this. It doesn't show on your website or anything. Then you'll see here in advanced options, there are two files that are created with your child theme. You get a CSS and a JavaScript file. They will by default just be named child. You can leave it like that, or you can change it. Doesn't really matter. Again, it's for your own purposes. And so I'm just going to leave it for now. I'll create the theme.
Hey, Nathan,
Yeah.
we have a question in chat. We usually leave these for the end, but I think it might be worth tackling now
Yeah.
just because it's so specific. Sally asked, does that button only make a child theme of that specific CSS file, or is it all the theme files?
Yeah. Good question. And it's kind of answered on the screen right here at the same time. So good timing. Uh, the child theme is just like you have the original theme itself. A child theme is like a subset of all the theme files. Um, you don't have a child theme for a specific module or specific CSS file. You can customize each module or CSS or whatnot within the child theme, but there's not a child theme for each module or each customization, if that makes sense. So I think as we continue here, we'll clarify on that a little further, but definitely a good question. So you see here after I've made the theme, it says we've added a default child JS CSS file to your child theme and cloned templates needed to make the theme. So when I go here, you'll see this is what you get to start out with. The only template file that shows here is the base HTML file, which all the themes have, which has your the core framework of your theme, pulling in scripts that are used, fonts, all that kind of stuff. But you'll see it's also pulling in your child CSS and child JavaScript. Uh, so this is that base file. You can modify it, but that is made by default. No other templates are in here, no other modules or CSS. But then you have this child CSS and JavaScript file. These are here and they're just blank files that you can use to add custom elements to. So let's do a couple things here. Um, if I go back to the marketplace files and remember we were looking at that accordion module and we wanted to change it. So what I can do here is I can't change the code directly here in the marketplace theme, but I can right click on this module and I can now clone to child theme. And so I hit that and this will show me my available themes. In this case, I only have one theme or one child that I've created off of this parent theme. So I'll select that, but you can't have more than one, um, which I'll address. I was going to do that later, but I'm on it. As far as the number of child themes, if you have Content Hub free or starter, you get one child theme, and that's not per parent theme. That's one child theme. Period. So you could download 100 themes from Marketplace, but you get one child theme amongst them. So use it wisely. If you have Pro, you get up to 5 child themes, and then Enterprise, you get up to 10. So that is an important detail. So here I've got the one that I created for this theme. And so now if I go back to my child theme, I'll see now there's a modules folder and the accordion is here. So what happens in your child theme? And you may wonder, well, when you made the child theme, why didn't it pull over all your files? Because the child theme still uses all the files from the parent theme. It's going to use all the original files except ones that you are overwriting. So in this case, a page that I create using this child theme is going to use all the original modules and everything are still there and available to be used. But in this case, I have this accordion module. You see the message at the top is gone. I can freely edit this module. I can do whatever I want with it with the layout. I can add more fields. I can remove fields. I can rename things. I could name this My Cool Accordion. Whatever I need to do, I can make changes. And then when I go into, and let's just go and do this. I'll change this to accordion demo module, and I'll just make that change for the sake of time. I'm going to publish. So that's changing it just within the child theme. And again, I could change layout and do whatever else stuff that we don't have time for here. But so I have that. All the other modules are the same. And right now, all the CSS is the same. Now, here's another note. Remember, I was saying when you update the marketplace theme, when an update is available and you click the button and it downloads the update, that's important. And there could be some really important updates. It could be a fix that you need applied, or like I said, something that changed in HubSpot and you need that change applied, or something's not going to work right anymore. So you want to make sure the only items that you bring over into your child theme are ones that you need to customize. So do not go into the original theme. For example, do not grab all of these CSS files and clone them over to your child theme. Can you? Yes. I can click on this file, clone to child theme, and it will add a CSS folder and this blog CSS file into my child theme. I can do that, and then I can customize it. But if I dump all of these files into my child theme, all the CSS and all the modules, just for the sake of being able to edit them, then all my pages are going to use those copies of the modules in the CSS. And if some important update comes from the theme to that module or file, I'm not going to get it. It's not going to apply to my child theme because I have all these cloned versions of the files. If you need to clone it, of course, that's what it's here for, but don't clone it just because. Don't think you have to. You don't have to. Only if you need to modify it. So that's an important note. And with that, once you have a modified, say I modify this accordion module, and when you get an update that comes through on the theme, it will tell you what updates are done. You can see that on the theme listing. So always look at that and see what things were updated in that release. And if you see a note, fix for the accordion module or something like that, now know, okay, I have a modified version of that module. I need to look at the updated one and see, is there something there that I need to implement into my cloned version. So keep that in mind. Always pay attention to what is being updated to make sure you get what you need there. Okay,
Hey,
so we've
Nathan,
got this.
sorry to interrupt you again, but I
Yeah.
think we have another timely question that we
Okay.
might want to get you right now. Beto asked, if I need to modify something on one of those CSS files, do I have to move it to the child, or what's the best practice?
Good question. Very good question, and one that I think I intended to already address and and haven't. Um, yeah, so you can clone this CSS file to your child theme. However, I would recommend not doing that in most cases. Uh, for example, let me open this file. Let me just pick a random item. Okay, this blog header. Say I want to make some changes to this. Instead of cloning this file and have, because this file has a lot of things in it, right? It's not just this blog header, it's got a lot of stuff in it. And if I clone this file, any changes that come through in a theme update for this file, I'm not going to have because I'm using a modified version of it. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to copy the section that I want to change. If I go into my child theme and go to this blank child CSS file, I'm going to paste it in here and say the only thing I wanted to change is that background color. So I'm delete that out. I want to make the background color white. So I can put that in here, publish the changes, and now my blog CSS file is still safe from, with future updates from the developer, but I have the customization that I need implemented here. And what this will do is this will override any of the CSS that comes from the parent theme. So you can do the same thing with this child JavaScript file, but put your changes here in this child CSS file, organize them however you want. But this would be the way to go, because any update to the theme from the developer is not going to touch this file. So this will always be there as your override. So good question. All right, let's jump to an actual web page. And if I go to create a page, you're going to see here when you go to create a page, all the themes that you have in your portal. So here, let's go Redwood Industrial Demo Child. So that's the one we just created. Now you'll see this has the same image as the original theme. I do have the ability, if you want, you certainly don't have to, but if I wanted to change that, I could come in here to this theme.json file in the child, and there's a file here for that template preview. I could create a new image and put that in place to where that shows inside of HubSpot. If you're setting it up for a client or whatever it is, you can change the image. But by default, it'll use the same image from the parent theme. And all right, so I'll set as active. Now I see all the templates. These are templates from the parent theme. If you remember, the child theme did not copy all the templates. So this is all parent theme templates. But if I did copy some over, I would see my version of it in place of the parent. So let me just grab a page here. All right, so now this is inside of the child theme. It's the same exact template as the parent theme. Now we're going to notice something here is the header has no navigation. Now the site that we're already looking at, see, has navigation, but when I come here, it doesn't, because the global elements of a child theme are unique to themselves. So if I come up here from editing any page in Content Hub, on the edit option, you have this area here where you can go to all the theme settings that are available for that theme, all your colors and everything. You'll see here now that I already had the existing site, but I created the child theme. Now I have a clean slate. So all the theme settings are default. So any changes that I've made here and pages for the parent theme, those aren't here. This is default styling from the parent theme and blank slate header and footer global elements. So here I can make changes to colors. Let me do an obvious one. Let me go to the header. This has this utility bar at the top. Let me change the color of that. It doesn't look very nice, but it's not the point. All right, so I just made a couple changes there, and I could change any styling here, and it's going to apply. So I publish. It's only affecting the child theme. So now you can see it makes it obvious I'm on the child theme page, and I go to my global header. I can set this up just like I would, like I did on the global header for the rest of the demo site. I'm going to go ahead. I could change the logo. Anything here I can change, and it only affects the child theme page. So let me pick a navigation item. I made this one here for demo purpose. So child nav, So different than the main navigation. So that's in place now. Um, Good to go there. So this affects only the child theme. So I'm going to publish. All right, so my page has a modified navigation, has different colors. But if I go back to the main site and I refresh, everything's the same because this is still the parent theme. I'm only modifying the child theme right here. Now, I'm modifying on this page, but this is still a global element. This header is global, so but it's global to the child theme. So after I've created this page, if I go through later and I make another page also using the same child theme, it's already going to have this. It's already going to have this the blue color that I changed. It's going to have this different navigation. So I can set up a different section of my website to have different options. So, for example, I had um, a different child theme that I set up earlier. So if I go to products uh, and then I click on this product, you'll see child theme. So, and I changed the logo, Redwood Child, to make it super obvious. And so a different color scheme, different header. So in a case like this would be an example of, say, this company had three different product lines, and each product line had its own logo and different color schemes or some different branding elements. I could come in and set up a child theme for each one of those product lines and put in the appropriate logo, whatever color changes are needed, and then for all the products on the site that are part of that product line, build those pages using that child theme, and then it would pull in those changes, and I'd essentially have like microsites within the overall site. I had a client before that had a practice, like a medical practice, where they had different departments within the company that did different types of treatments and services. Each one had a different logo and different set of pages and so forth. So they used like three different child themes, and on each one they put the logo for that part of the practice, menu options that related to that side of the practice, and essentially had like three or four websites all in one website. And this is what child themes allow you to do, because otherwise, a header is global, so it's going to be the same on every page. So the child theme, your two main things here: ability to the customize your marketplace theme, since you can't do that out of the box, and then the ability to dial in your, whether it's a marketplace theme or a custom theme, the ability to have different parts of the website using different styling, different navigation, different global elements. So that's all the stuff that you're able to do when you pull the child theme into the mix. Um, so we've looked at how to do that, and now a quick item. If you say you have a page already, and you're like, okay, I've already built the page, but then I made a child theme later. Which, quick side note, if you're getting a marketplace theme, most cases you're going to want to just create a child theme right off the bat. Create it, build your site using the child theme. That would be the general suggestion. Um, you go that route, because if you build a bunch of pages and then later you have a child theme, you're going to have to go back and edit those pages. So, say if I come to a page and I decide I want this page to use my new child theme, it wasn't built with that child theme. I can go to settings, template, and all is tied to the template. So if I go here and use a different template, and I go to pick the theme. And what shows here, because you don't know, this shows whatever theme you picked last. So the last page that I set up, I use this demo child. So that's what shows here. So just whatever you use last is what will show. So I'm going to go with the demo child and product. So it's the same template, but just from the child theme. And you can see the colors changed. Use template. Now this page has the child theme in place. So any styling, any module modifications, anything tied to that child theme now will apply to this page that already existed. Uh, okay, so that is a lot of stuff, and I think showed some different examples. I know we're at time here, so let's switch gears. Rick, and take some other questions.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you, Nathan. Really, really good walkthrough of HubSpot child teams and how they all work. Really appreciate you coming here and teaching the lesson. We do have a couple questions that were sent in ahead of time, and of course, we can push this a little over the time that we planned. So if you guys have more questions, please drop them in the chat. We can get you a couple right now. But we had Pete Thompson, who shout out is one of our community members. She asked a question. She asked, "How easy is it to update the web design from the old design templates?"
Okay, and by old design templates, I'm going to assume you're talking about pre-themes. HubSpot CMS existed before the current theme structure. Um, a few years back, you roll what I'd say, what 3 years back, um, you could build templates with some drag and drop flexibility, but a lot more restrictive than what a theme setup is now. In that setup, you also had modules and everything, but it's a really a completely different playing field than what themes bring to the table. So unfortunately, there is no quick fix to take a HubSpot site, say built 3, 4, 5 years ago, and just pull it into a theme. You're not going to be able to do that. It would have to be rebuilt, just kind of like a new website. Um, Rebuilding like modules would have to be retooled a bit into some new structure. Um, Templates would all be different, so it's doable, but not a quick and easy project. How long it would take really depends on how big your website is. That's something we could certainly help you with if needed. But yeah, good question.
Awesome, thank you. And then we have a couple more here. David said, "Hey there. So just to confirm, if we have a whole site that is built on a parent theme and decided we need to update the blog look and feel using child themes, would we need to rebuild the whole site on the child theme?"
No, yeah, good question. If all you want to do is modify the blog, like you said, you could leave all the rest of the pages as they are, create your child theme, and uh, then when you go to the blog, just like I changed the template on this page that we were looking at, you would go to change the template of your blog, and you have the blog listing would be changed, and just like I did on this page, the blog post template you would change in the your your larger your website settings area. You change that blog post template, but when you go to change the template, you would select from the child theme templates, and then it would apply that to your blog. You wouldn't have to change if you want all your other pages to look just the way they are. You can leave them and just pull pages that you need the effect of the child theme. Those are the only ones that need to be using a child theme template. So
Great. And we have one more question here from Beto. Um, what happens if I use a regular module in my pages, but later I create that child module? Is that going to update my pages, or do I need to redrag and drop all one by one?
if you have the the module that's already on the page, and then you clone it into your child theme. If this page, for example, this page here, this hero module, if I had a new version of this module in the child theme, and I just pulled this page into using the child theme template, uh, I'll get the elements of the modified module. So it'll pull that into play. So using the module on the child theme page, we'll use the child theme version. So even if it was on the page already, you should have the modified version.
Awesome. Awesome. And I mean, I know with things like these, there's probably a lot of questions that you guys may have. I dropped two links in the chat for you guys. One is to our theme on the HubSpot marketplace so that you can access and use it. And the other link is to our free Slack community, which, if you guys want to join, there's a specific channel for CMS where we can discuss, and Nathan is part of that channel, so he can answer any more questions that you guys have over there as well. So those links are in the chat. I think that does it for today. We want to be respectful of everybody's time. But again, Nathan, really appreciate you coming live and doing the lesson here with us. And everybody that's joined us here today, really appreciate you coming to our first micro lesson of 2025. Hope to see you guys on the next ones that are to come.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks, everybody.
Good. I'll see you guys on the next lesson.